All right. It looks like I am good. Whew. Oh my God, boy. You talk about a damn headache in this place here. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. All right. I actually think I am going to be all right. All right. I think I have figured out this mess. I have a headache. I just want y'all to know I have a headache. Yes, I have a headache, but I think I'm in the crib. I think I'm good. Hey, Taylor, am I breaking up right now? I think I'm good. I really feel like I'm good. Give me some feedback real quick. That's all I need. Just, am I in there? Am I in the pocket? Man, my nose itching. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Holy Jesus. Woo. I guess we need to go a little, you know, couple of minutes because I don't really have nothing to say. I mean, I've just been trying to figure this out. I think I figured it out. I have so many different machines plugged into different machines that I think I was weighing down one of my machines a lot, and I think I'm onto something here, and yeah, I haven't figured out the whole green screen thing yet. My browser is blocking me from blocking out my screen, but I think I'll be able to at least spread the word that I am no longer sounding like a robot with half of his tongue cut off. I've been having nightmares about misery. At one point, I woke up and I thought somebody was putting a piece of wood between my ankles and swinging a sledgehammer at my ankles. Man, I was freaking out. I woke up like, "Oh shit! What? Okay, yeah, all right." Mm. But hey, listen, Taylor, man, I really appreciate you, sticking around. It has been, a mess over here. But if I'm still sounding good at this point, I think I'm in business. So hopefully I can figure the whole green screen thing out and call it a night. I was trying to get somebody to come up and hang out with me for a little bit. And you're welcome to come, Taylor, and just kind of shoot the shit a little bit. I mean, I'm just enthused that I actually have regular sound. Oh, damn right. I mean, yeah, watching a man ankles fold over like bologna. You know how you put the bologna on the one piece of bread and just fold it over. I mean, his ankles were like folded bologna, man. It was yeah, that was bad. That was quite painful. Oh yes, quite painful. Is anybody live tonight that you know of? I'm not really sure. Anna. Oh, thank you, thank you. I put out a video today. It just finished processing, but thank you so much. Love all my fans, and okay, survival's going on in 30. That's cool. I appreciate everybody because I've really been having a tough time, but I appreciate everybody hanging in there. Thanks for all the encouragement. All of the compliments are good. It just kind of boosts me to keep going because, I mean, you may not know my story, but I think I should have been, doing what I do quite a few years ago, and I just decided not to. Oh, we got a weird thing. That's my phone. Airplane mode. Here we come. Bam. Turn it on. It's off. Yeah, but I didn't. I was scared to death, man. I was scared to death to talk to people, and I mean, I could do it one on one, but I didn't really have a lot of self confidence. So when I say I appreciate, the feedback, I appreciate all the compliments, all the love. I mean that. Yes, I mean that. Yeah. Hmm. So I'm still not breaking up, right? I'm good. I'm still straight. I was having an issue. So of course we already know that, but make sure if you didn't, go by and check out the video I put out today about the means that Marxism crept its way into American culture. It enlighten you a little bit. It is kind of long, but just stop by and check it out. Let me know what you think. Feedback is welcome. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. That would be dope. Yeah, I'll try to catch survival. Um, hey Taylor, do you have a channel? Let me know so I can make sure I go and subscribe to your channel. What's up, Nacho? Hey, man. Hey, brother, I've been going through hell. I think I figured it out, though. Um, hey, you want to come? Hey, look, I'm not doing anything. This is more so like a test to kind of see what's going on. Um, so, yeah. So if you want to, Taylor says she's never been live. Wow. Okay. Hey, so Nacho, man, you want to come up, man? I'll send you the link. Let me know, because I'm up here by myself. I'm not doing it. I've been trying to stream for the last 3 days, man, and I've just been having problem after problem after problem, and it looks like I finally got it together. Well, it's like, okay, give me a second. I appreciate that, Anna. That's awesome. That's awesome. And hey, you can come on too. We can just have a conversation. Let me see if I can figure out how to send my brother this link here. Invite. There we go. There we go. All right, here you go, Nacho. Yeah, I get it, brother. Me too. Me too. Been real busy. What's up, Joker? What's going on, brother? So Anna, how long have you been subscribed to the channel? I gotta work all of this out. Anybody have the latest and greatest news on what happened in Nashville? Wow, I prefer this to watch on the sidelines, but I support you guys from the side. Hey, appreciate the support, and I really do. Really appreciate it. We're gonna get you off the sidelines though, if it's only for a little bit, just for a little while. Help break the ice. Just kind of help break the ice a little bit. Let's see if it's Nacho in the house. Yep, let me add Nacho in here.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm actually fixing my own camera right now. I was uploading some software and whatnot. So
Yeah.
what were you having trouble with?
Well, I have so many peripherals for my sound plugged into one of my laptops, and brother, it was dragging my processor.
Hmm. Okay.
and I didn't know it. I kept switching out devices, and it didn't matter because one of the like my I have a sound interface like a audio interface because I use an XLR
Hmm.
plug-in, and I also have a noise gate that's physical. I have a what is that thing called? A mixer plugged into this thing, as well as a MIDI keyboard. I mean, it's just like everything's plugged into it
Yeah.
because I produce music too. And it just never dawned on me that going into StreamYard with all of that plugged in was going to kill my processor. And it did. It literally killed my processor. Like it
Yeah,
just
because it's
wouldn't do
trying to
anything.
render the live stream and keep up with all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that
It's probably
incoming
what.
data, all that processing, it was dragging my process. It was killing me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got it figured out, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 days of, and it's funny because I took everything out of my Aces and plugged it into my Mac, and it was the same thing. And so I was like, maybe I just need to unplug all of this stuff. I don't know what took me so long to come to that conclusion, but I got there and bam, it's like, okay, here we
You
go.
might just need a better rig too, though.
Yeah, I definitely need an upgrade, a pretty expensive one. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna get that fixed up. But yeah, the issue was the processor was being brutalized.
Yeah.
Yep. She sent us.
Dang,
Let me
man. I
see what
thought I'd
Taylor's
have this
talking
camera
about.
figured out. It just got
Taylor said, I
focusing
saw
on.
some surveillance video showing the RV on the left of the road and explosion was on the right alongside of the AT&T building. So the RV wasn't the explosion. Wow.
Uh,
I think that thing is gone.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure the RV was the source of the explosion. I think they
Yeah.
got that figured out, but
Yeah. That
it
thing
is
is
weird.
gone.
The location of the explosion is what was strange to me. Because you had the AT&T building, you had some other buildings around, but it kind of went to these other buildings that were in between the two. And if you look up those buildings on Google Maps, they're all blurred out.
Yeah.
And usually it's only government buildings that get blurred out like that. So I'm thinking it's a NSA building. I'm pretty sure that's been like confirmed now. And then there's other ones too. If you find NSA buildings where they're working out of, usually the outside is all blurred and the above view is blurred as well.
Right. Yeah.
So some interesting stuff there.
It is. Looks like this brother had a real issue with 5G technology.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a really big issue.
He
I
wasn't
mean,
about
what about the guy that
that
drove a
NSA
tank and
stuff.
started knocking down all the towers? I mean, this a couple of years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
he
crazy
was a
too.
5G terrorist also.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's terrible times for those people over there in Nashville. But again, the blessing of it is that not many people lost their lives. So a few injuries that are known. And that's just a blessing, man, because that blast was pretty nasty.
Yeah, that was a good thing for sure that nobody else was injured. Well, there could have been a lot of people dead, with a
Yeah,
bomb, with an explosion like that.
absolutely.
And I mean, that's what makes it seem like it definitely wasn't some kind of like. Some people at first were speculating that maybe he was trying to kill people. That the telling people that you know it was going to be out, to evacuate and everything. They thought that was kind of bait to get everyone outside, but I don't really think so because if he really wanted to get a bunch of people, he would have just went in there and blown up an apartment building or something like that.
Yeah,
But him
those
driving up
kinds
in
of
front
things
of
are
the
obvious.
NSA building and putting a recording out saying vacate the area, that was kind of.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't warrant the motive to hurt people, even if it's a possibility that he wanted to lure more people.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit the bill. That
Did you
doesn't make
see
a lot
the
of sense.
you see the second van?
No, I've been buried in trying to figure out this problem. That's why I was asking Taylor, has she seen or heard of the latest news? Because boy, I
Yeah.
mean, I have been
There's a second
fist
van
deep. A second.
that stopped traffic. They surrounded it, stopped traffic. It was playing a similar message. I was actually about to dig into that and make a video about it or something like that. just speak
Wow.
on it. So, but yeah, that was another thing just happened earlier today. As I was coming home, I got like a couple notifications about.
Wow. I tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking that, possibly, the attack on the communications was going to open the door for other attacks. I think I lost Nacho. Oh, let me bring you back. You still in there?
Yeah, my it said my browser lost connection or something.
Yeah, that happens. It happened a few times to me today. Yeah, I saw the second van, Taylor as well, and watched EOD on the scene. Lost him again. Um, what's up, Richie? Looks like I figured it out a little bit there, Poe. Thank God. I was gonna be bald by the morning. That I can guarantee. Let me see if Nacho's back in the building. He is back. Okay.
It's whenever I start my camera up, I guess it's booting me out. So
Yeah,
I'll give
it's
it a
when I
minute and
start
then
my
I'll just
camera.
I'll close it out and then I'll come back in a minute. But
Okay.
yeah, that second van they found is in the same area in Tennessee and stuff. So that's what made it so strange, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I always felt like that bomb on the communications was gonna open the door for other strikes. And I mean, that's just the way a lot of terrorists thinks. If you see a communications grid go down, then you need to be on high alert.
Hmm. And then it obviously it opens the door for a lot of people to imitate and just
Yep.
those who just want attention to come out and scare people.
Yeah.
So it could be that too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those
Absolutely.
people are out there.
Look, Richie said, clear as day now. Brother, I had so many devices plugged into my computer, it could not breathe. It was dying. I mean, that's pretty much what it boiled down to. Yeah. Woo, man. Life is getting better by the moment.
Yeah, that's what
Taylor
I'm
said it's
talking
just
about.
survival. I'm going to go over there and check Survival Show out, Taylor. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. He is having Angry Hillbilly Patriot to go down a rabbit hole. I definitely got to go check that out.
Who's that now?
Angry Hillbilly Patriot. That's who Survival's gonna have on tonight.
Oh, okay.
She seems to think there's gonna be a rabbit hole jump down there, and people are gonna be running around skadoodling,
Oh yeah.
getting it in. So yeah, I tell you, man, I enjoyed hanging out with the Prophet of Thought. Man, he is funny.
Yeah. Did you go on there?
Yeah, I was up there with Trey.
Oh, but I'm saying after that though, you haven't gone back.
Nah, I haven't talked to him
Okay.
since, but we're making plans to reconnect, brother. He is hilarious, man.
Yeah, he's funny, man.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, absolutely. And I didn't blow a gasket, but I just get so
No,
frustrated
I
with
feel you, man.
that poor me, black people all I just get so tired of hearing that shit, man.
Well, I
Like,
had so much, man, to deconstruct from that. Like, cause look, I love Trey. He's my boy, but he was up there for 6 hours. Because before he went on there, we were doing a live for like about however long, 4 hours or whatever it was.
hmm
He had been on for a minute, and then he got to drinking. So it was like by the time that Mike Vance and then dude came back on and was in the chat and this and that, but man, I was like, there's so much I was gonna make a whole video on it, just deconstructing some of that stuff. Like when he said that being a Christian was being on the plantation.
Yeah, see that? Yeah,
I was
that
like, you
that
got to be
struck a
kidding me,
nerve,
man!
man.
Like you don't even understand the roots of Christianity.
Clearly,
Like
clearly,
it came from colored people, man. Like
clearly.
what are you talking about?
I
So
mean, the sickening part of it is when you think about the origins of the faith. The origins of the faith were born in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The people of God, the Hebrew people, were people of color,
Mm-hmm.
and the New Testament is the continuation of the old law that was the promises given to the same people of color. I mean,
Yep.
it's you know what I mean. It just goes to show the level of ignorance that people deal in, and swear to God they stand up for what's right and what's true, and they don't even know the truth. Just perpetuating that that divisive narrative, that hate narrative, that Marxist narrative to get rid of faith in this country, so we can pretty much deconstruct ourselves on a moral premise, which pretty much kills society. If there's no
Yeah.
moral standard, brother, you don't have anything. You don't have
It's a
nothing. If you don't
shame,
have a
man.
standard, you don't have nothing.
It's a shame for sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, he pissed me off. I mean, I was thoroughly pissed off, and I just like I said, I just get so sick of people of color thinking that way, and then putting that out to the
Anyone though,
masses for
man. It's
people to hear.
like anyone who puts themselves in that victimhood mentality, like it's not even like I get pissed too, but really the underlying thing is like I just feel bad for them. Like I don't you don't know you don't want anybody to be there in that mindset where they think that the whole world is out to get them. Like
Yeah,
you want people to be lifted up, and believe in themselves and believe they can do anything. You know what I mean? Especially here in America, because there are countries around the world where you really can't get out. My sister-in-law is from Nigeria. She immigrated here. She was actually on a work visa when she met my brother, and then they got married, and they had a really awesome wedding in New York City. And she was talking about she's been approached a couple times while they were out at parties or this or that and the other, and she'll have a group of black girls come up to her and, oh well, you can't be with him because he's white. He can never understand you because you're black, and he can never understand what you went through. She's like, y'all don't understand what I went through. I'm from Nigeria. Like,
yeah,
I'm actually from Africa. Like, I've seen, true oppression, what actual corrupt government, what it looks like and feels like to actually not be able to get out. You know what I mean? Like, there is no opportunity there like there is here. In comparison, there isn't an opportunity like that. And that's why you see so many Nigerians immigrate here, you
right,
know?
right.
So it was just crazy. Like, and then they don't know what our family went through. They don't know there's 8 kids in our family. They don't know we all grew up in a single wide trailer at one point. You know, our mom raising us single on her own.
Hmm.
They don't know we were, dirt poor, eating mayonnaise sandwiches. So
Yeah, yeah, I
I
know.
can relate, honestly.
Damn
I
right,
can
and it's
relate
it's
a
so
lot more
despicable.
than other people can. So
Yeah, it's so despicable. I get to look at you and say, his skin color tells me his story.
yeah,
He's kind of in between, and why he's probably privileged. There's no way he can understand my plight. The truth of the matter is, a lot of the people that are spewing that garbage about resentment and revenge were never even born in the hood or ghetto, never had to suffer a day in their
hmm
lives. Like, so
mommy
who
and
are you
daddy
fighting
paid for
for?
their college.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the culture that they so-called hate is what paid for their education. They're in college, for crying out loud. You're in an institution to where you are being set up to empower yourself, but you have a problem with the system. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, I just get so disgusted. So Anna said, I can't stand that. I understand what makes them think. I don't understand what makes them think they have the authority to define a term based on their own perspective. That's whatever it means on their own terms. And it's true. You don't get to look at me and think that you know what I've been through, know what I know, what I've experienced. And just because my skin color is a certain shade, I'm supposed to be absolutely affiliated with the ghetto, the struggle. And if I'm not, I'm an Uncle Tom. I'm a coon because I didn't, or I chose to come out of it. Oh, it's the worst when you decide to come out of the ghetto. Oh man, you a sellout all the way. Absolute
Yeah,
sellout. Absolute sellout. You a
yeah,
sucker.
and that's what Trey gets that one a lot because he advocates for people to come out of the hood, and basically not feel bad about coming out of the hood. And
Yeah.
yeah, he gets it for that one.
But it's true. I mean, it's like, why in the world would I have, a brother or a sister of mine that's stuck in a bad situation and offer them the solution to come out, I'm like, how does that make me a hater? Because that's pretty much the going term. You a hater if you talk about leaving poverty. You talk about coming out of the hood. You a hater. You a sucker. You a sellout. Because you want to make life better for you, better for your family in the future. But yet you got your hand stuck out for a reparation. I mean, it's kind of, oxymoronic in a sense. You don't want to do better for yourself. You want the state to help you do better. But if anybody decides that they want to empower themselves, then they're not black.
Right.
It's absolutely.
And then if you go on to, if you were voting for Trump or you're voting against the welfare state, you're quote unquote biting the hand that feeds you. You know, they got these people locked into this, where they think that, oh well, we can't bite the hand that feeds us. But that what people don't realize is that is your own hand. Like you're not biting. You know what I mean? That those taxes are your taxes, man. Like
right.
You can decide what the government gets to do with those.
Yeah, Steve said he still like tomato and mayonnaise sandwiches. Hey, listen, brother, I used to eat mayonnaise and Doritos sandwiches. If I could get my hands on a little 25-cent bag of Doritos, some bread and some mayonnaise, I was in heaven. No meat, just bread and mayonnaise, man. And ramen noodles. Hey, brother, I know of flavors that are no longer in the ramen noodle Crayola box.
Man, I used to eat them raw out the package, man.
Yes, put a little bit of seasoning on them and just eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, love them to death.
Crunch.
Love it. I grew up on peanut butter and jelly. It was survival. And my grandparents would cook. You know what I'm saying? And my grandfather, he grew food, but I learned how to make it watching them. They said it was a struggle, but I just watched them make ends meet and be adults. And, as they had the opportunities to get better at what they did to gain more economic empowerment, they took it. But this generation, man, is being fueled by a doctrine that America is oppressive. We're a nation full of, xenophobics. We're oversexed, we're undersexed, and, we're super religious. And when you look at the principles that built this nation into the most amazing country in the world has ever seen, why would you want to step away from that lifestyle or that culture? The whole idea of Marxism and communism creeping into America, it is to undermine the success and to undermine the beauty of our culture and to turn it into something ugly and disgusting. So they can have total and absolute dominance over your money, over your taxes, over what you can and can't have. That's a dictatorship. That's totalitarianism. I mean, that's what we all dread. None of us want that. Soviet Union didn't want it. Venezuela doesn't want it. Argentina doesn't want it. Yep. Cuba didn't want
it. That was something. It's funny. Hitler was fighting that. You know what I'm saying? Like he just ended up becoming the monster he was trying to defeat. But when he started out, all the stuff that he talked about to get it into power, he was totally anti-socialism, anti-communism, all that stuff. That's what he preached when he got into power. And then when he got into power, he became, the very thing he was trying to defeat.
Yeah, he became the monster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing Joe Biden is pulling right now, bro. It's the same thing that, him and Kamala are doing. They're swearing to God that they're not socialist. They don't want a democratic socialist nation, a.k.a. communist, Marxist nation. But every policy that they stand for and push for, every talking point that's in their secret meetings is about how to take the American people hostage by way of inflated taxes and a crushed economy. I mean, that was the way Hitler came to power. The economy is vulnerable. People are desperate. You bring them a new story, some more false hope, and they give you their liberties in the name of safety and security.
Yeah.
It's the same card, man.
Yeah, and especially with COVID right now, it makes it so easy.
Yes. The perfect storm, perfect opportunity, perfect crisis.
Yep.
See, back then it was, the Great Recession. That was the crisis needed for Hitler to stick his fangs into people. and suck them dry. That was his shot. And like you said, COVID is the shot that they had. Richard said the crazy part about he knows so many black folks that are patriots and believe what we believe, but they won't stand up and say it publicly because they're afraid to be criticized. Hey, but Rich, that's just what the culture is coming to, man. It's like you got to pick sides now. You know, but a lot of people don't want to be looked at as traitors. I mean, right now, here go the truth. Back in the day, if you meddle in somebody else's business, they called you a snitch and you got dealt with. But right now, brother, you are worse than a snitch if you support Donald Trump and you black in America. You are worse than a snitch in the minds of some.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I don't give a damn personally. I'm just going to be me and do me. Chips land where they may. They're going to fall where they fall anyway.
That's the decision I came to a while back.
Yeah, I mean, like, who gives a damn? I mean, hey, I'm free.
I mean, but it's funny because I went through the whole motion of it. You know, I'm that's what's so funny about whenever people try to say like, oh, well, you've just been indoctrinated or whatever, like you've just been propagandized. I'm like, look, man, I went through that like hard. Every day I was like, is this really, you know, how it is? Maybe I'm getting the wrong information. Maybe I need to go to this place. And I did it. I went through it all, man. I looked on everything that I read from the right. I read something from the left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I check myself over and over because I don't want to be, you know, just following the sheep off the edge of the cliff. But
right.
It's crazy, man.
Hey, listen, I like what Taylor put out there. She said that she saw that if we win, I think I hit the wrong one. Bunny, I'm going to come back to you. Yeah. She said, I saw if we win the Senate seated for Georgia, that Lindsey Graham will be on the head for the budget. And if we lose, then Bernie Sanders will be in charge of the budget. Well, listen, I guarantee you, Taylor, if that fool gets his hand and that leadership, he gets that seat in leadership, I promise you, you will see the welfare state begin to manifest. He is a cold, extreme communist. This guy loved Fidel Castro. Loved him, worshiped him, learned from him, followed him, mimicked his ways, even his teaching, even his speaking. He mimics Fidel Castro, who we know was one of the most notoriously violent dictators in the history of Cuban America. Cuban America. I call it Cuban America. It's got a ton of Cubans over here. But that guy was treacherous. And Bernie Sanders is treacherous, bro. Treacherous. Like
and
that.
Bernie and the Clintons too, man. They all went to the same place to study overseas. What was that university they all go to? I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it either. Yeah. I mean, Saul Alinsky went there. I mean, this is like the education for political tyrants to go to. I know exactly what you're talking about because the guy who mentored Hillary Clinton, Saul Alinsky, man, I mean, brother, this guy hated people of color too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he did, brother. It was like, he was a eugenist. He was raised in that era where people were trying to get rid of people because of their skin color and wanted to make sure that if they did have children, that their children would be crippled or be less than and not be able to fend for themselves, so they would be, owned by the state, and then the state can rightfully do away with these people legally.
See, that's the other thing that really blows my mind too, is like, you don't have to be, conservative. You don't have to be on the Republican side, but you can't sit there and say like, that one side is so racist and then back the Democrats, because the Democrat Party was basically born out of this. So many Democrats are so inherently racist.
Oh, yeah.
And openly a lot of times too. So that always blows my mind, especially like, I can't remember if it was you or Hood that was talking about I think it was Hood that was talking about Black Lives Matter the other day, and I hopped on there. I think I was in the comments saying something about the billions of dollars they took in donations and then they just give it over to Democrats.
Yeah.
Like y'all could have run your own candidate. You could have run two candidates. You know, run a third party candidate. Blow it out of the water, man. Really, you know,
Yeah.
hold the political system hostage. Like, make a difference. I mean, I might have voted for him depending on who they picked. You know what I mean?
Right. I do.
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they're doing now, but I mean, they had the opportunity to make a difference, and
They
they
did.
they basically just gave their money over to the Democratic Party.
Well, listen, I mean, I just put a link out there. Everybody in the chat room, I just put a link out there. Everything we're talking about, I talked about today in a video I just recorded because I couldn't stream it because me and my dumb ass was, I don't know, confused. But anyway, um, the truth of the matter is there are people that are in line right now that could be powerful for for the republic, but they have been manipulated by foreign money, and this is where it really gets ugly, and this is where it really gets really tricky because there's a real big smoke screen being blown in our faces when it comes to a lot of these political entities and these identities of people who stand up and pretend to be, on the side of the republic, but they're really not. And they speak a good game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Bill Barr, for instance, like he just painted this picture that he was gonna get this investigation done before the election. We were gonna use this for, to expose the deep state. Come to find out, he's a part of it.
Yeah,
I mean, just
yeah, and we
unbelievable, bro.
and we knew it. I mean, but it's like you want to believe that these people change.
Yeah.
That was my. I mean, honestly, in 2016, I was kind of on the Bernie train for a little bit because I was like, I know how corrupt he's been, but I also know how old he is, and I was like, maybe, just maybe, he really does want to make a difference. On his way out the door, like maybe he realizes, I'm getting old, and maybe I need to do something right before I get out. Like, even though I didn't necessarily agree with all the way he wanted to get it done, I had some hope. I was like, maybe, just maybe. But he's still the same old
Yeah.
Bernie,
Maybe
unfortunately.
maybe he, grown wiser, and just maybe, like you said, maybe he'll do the right thing now.
Mm.
Maybe he will, but he's not. Let's
There
not
we
even
go.
pretend. Oh, we're back. Oh, yeah,
We're back, baby.
yeah. He's not going to. Jesse. Oh, let me see. Waters dropped a missile yesterday, and a part of this clip, brother, is just unbelievable. Unbelievable the way he broke this down. I'm gonna see if I can share this,
I might have to
and let's
check.
talk about this. This right here is a Scud missile for America. Let me see if I can play this. First of all, I need to share my screen, and I need to make sure I share the right one because the last time I tried this, it was clearly bad. There we go. That's the one I want with audio.
The leading social trading platform with over 13 million users.
Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. A complacent country. That's the subject of tonight's Waters Words. We live in an enormous country, the third largest country in the world. We sit between two oceans and clock in with the third largest population, over 300 million people. Not everything affects us the same way. Those who live in Texas process life differently than those who live in Hawaii. The economy, the neighborhood, the laws, they differ from place to place. But there are things that happen to all of us that should make us angry. But many Americans just sit there and take it. Why? This isn't who we are. It's not who our forefathers were. It's not the American spirit. China recklessly released the virus into America. They lied about it and covered it up and
hear
even
this, Nigel?
blamed us for it. And many people believe we should consider this an act of war. Has China paid the price? Have our people demanded our leaders do something about this? No. We're just sitting here on our iPhones, made in China, ordering takeout because we're told we can't go out to dinner because of a virus also made in China. And Congress held a hearing or two, and then nothing happened. The media even praised China for how it handled the pandemic. That's like praising an arsonist who set your house on fire. Our politicians told us to stay inside, don't go to work, and we complied in the beginning. That's fine. But what broke us out of the lockdowns? If owners couldn't take it anymore and reopen their stores so they could put food on the table for their families, politicians had them arrested. A salon owner in Texas handcuffed. But the Speaker of the House forces a salon to open in San Francisco while she just strolls inside without a mask? Gym owners, pub owners arrested, not a peep. A few lockdown protests pop up here and there, but the media makes them out to be domestic terrorists, and we just nod our heads. All the lies pile up from the press, but we still keep watching. If the weatherman told you it was going to be sunny and every day it rained, would you still watch? No. But we still watch the fake news. Collusion hoaxes, post office hoaxes, impeachment hoaxes, gang rape hoaxes, and testify they saw election fraud and poll watchers were kicked out of the count rooms. The Republican establishment just fades into the background. A few brave fighters are left out on the front lines, totally outgunned by their political enemies. People in your party you thought were in your foxhole went AWOL. After everything Donald Trump had accomplished for the country and for the Republican Party, the Republican establishment.
I've always loved sci-fi.
I think you got
The
my
idea of
audio
being right
coming-
on the edge of discovery.
Yeah, my
went
audio's coming
silent
through your
when we needed
side.
the most. Trump was there for you.
What'd you say?
I said my audio is coming through your side. Mic check. Mic check. Yeah, it's coming through.
Mic check.
I can hear myself.
You can. Hold on.
Mhm.
I think I got you right here. I got you. Yeah, I should have plugged this in. All right, we shouldn't have that problem anymore.
Mic check. Mic check. Hello.
Mic check.
I still hear it.
Your audio.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I know my head. Hello. Good Lord. You know
Hello?
what?
Hello?
I think- yeah, I'm here. I'm still here.
I don't know. I still hear myself.
Yeah, let's check this out. Let me make sure that's that. Let's check this. Bam. Should be here. Yeah. That should be it. Are you still hearing it?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's strange. I don't even have a speaker out loud.
I don't know. I hear it like it's a I don't know. I hear it coming straight back in my own headset.
I think I hear
Uh-huh.
I think I hear a little echo in the back.
Yeah.
Shouldn't hear that, especially not on this side. I'm plugged in, my speakers are off, and I'm just got everything going through my headset.
Are you capturing audio from your headset?
No. Well, just from the microphone.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, so there's nothing coming out of a speaker to capture it in the microphone other than me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it'll stop after this.
Yeah, hopefully it will, because that was strange. But this is where it really gets interesting. This is crazy right here.
When you needed him, Kavanaugh, Coney, Barrett, ISIS, Mideast peace and North Korea, tax relief, energy independence, border security, and a vaccine. But we just threw in the towel before the bell had rung. Now we're facing a second wave, and Democrat lockdowns are punishing Americans. Congress thought cutting us $600 before they go on vacation was a win. When companies were giving $1,000 bonuses to workers after the Trump tax cuts, Nancy called that crumbs. So what's $600, Nancy? But it's even more devious than that. Politicians took your tax dollars while we're suffering during a pandemic and sent tens of billions of dollars to a third world slush fund. $10 million to Pakistan for gender studies. $700 million to Sudan for God knows what. $506 million to Central America to fight corruption. Probably just goes straight into the police chief's bank account. $300 million to Caribbean countries to study how many fish are in the sea. $500 million to build a border wall between Jordan and Syria. Didn't the Democrats tell us walls don't work? $86 million to Cambodia. How about we send that to the Carolinas instead, okay? $1.3 billion to Egypt, who's just going to use it to buy weapons from Russia. The politicians are stealing our money and sending it to other countries. This doesn't make us safer. It's just credit card therapy for insecure, guilty congressmen. It's our money. It should go to America first after the year we've had.
I agree.
Rand Paul tracked the waste this year and found stuff that's going to drive you crazy. $54 billion in waste. Here's some highlights. $1.3 million to study if Americans will eat bugs. No, I just saved you 1.3. $2 million to study if going in a hot tub reduces stress. The answer is yes. $1 million to get people to get over their fear of going to the dentist. $150,000 on Kenyan art classes. $37 million to get Filipino students to stop playing hooky. $3 million to send Russians to American community colleges. That's smart. $1.5 million to walk lizards on a treadmill. First it was shrimp, now it's lizards. And $715 million for equipment that was lost training Syrian rebels. $6 million to build a place to park your bike in D.C. $4.5 million.
I'm Jean-Nicolas, the UNHCR representative in Yemen, and I would like to provide you an update
To spray alcoholic rats with bobcat urine. Now, it's kind of funny, but it's gallows humor. Americans are struggling, dying, and Congress is picking our pockets. There's hundreds of examples like this. Nobody cares. This is so damn disrespectful. It's debasing the dollar, too. $1 million here, $1 billion there, while our countrymen scrape by because politicians won't let them work. They close our restaurants and then sneak out for a 5-course meal when they think no one's watching. Our country careens from crisis to crisis. Debt ceiling, fiscal cliff, Great Recession, pandemic, government shutdowns. And they just play chicken with each other and horse trade with our money. And at the very last second, in the dark of night, jam through $1 trillion in pork that gets laundered through bureaucrats and donors and corrupt foreign nationals before hardworking taxpayers see a real dime. And nobody reads the bill. It's 5,000 pages, rushed through, written by lobbyists and special interests. But it's a crisis, so we have to pass it as fast as possible. It's a criminally corrupt practice. It happens every year. The politicians pass it, pat themselves on the back, and then they go home and ask for your vote again. And guess what? You vote for them again. We must deserve it. You get the government you deserve. We elect these people and rarely demand change. And when they sabotage a president who actually changed things, we don't rebel, we don't march, we don't resist. We watch it on TV. Our form of protest is just changing the channel. DC just mocks us and kicks us when we're down. We used to storm the castle over abuses of power like this. Now we just raid the fridge. So in 2021, let's relight that great American spirit. Let's stand up to this den of thieves, because they'll just keep robbing us blind until we actually do something about it.
Oh, Wow. Oops. Woo. That was hot, brother. I think it struck a nerve, but I had to go back. I definitely had to look at the lizards on the treadmill. I thought he was joking.
Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah.
it's real.
I'm still
what do you
getting
say?
feedback, by the
Yeah.
way. I'm still getting feedback,
Huh?
by the way. I'm still getting feedback, by the way. I'm still getting
That is
feedback,
weird.
by the way.
Do you listen? You don't happen to have your YouTube channel on, do you?
No, because chat said they were hearing it too. Chat said they were hearing it
Yeah,
too.
now I hear you echo. Now I really hear it. I don't think that's on my end, but let's see.
It happened when you started playing that video.
All right, let's see something.
That was the only thing that changed.
Are you talking? Say something to me.
Hello. It's still doing it.
Yeah, I hear you echoing, but you should. I don't know why that is. Let me try this. Let me mute that. All right, say
Mic
something.
check. Hello. That's still coming through.
That's funny. I mute my microphone and I still hear it. So me muting my microphone because I don't have you coming through my speakers. So what I was thinking is that if I'm speaking to you and your sound is coming out my speaker and into my microphone, it would echo. Look, why don't you go into your settings? Matter of fact, I got that. You can't do that. I can do that. I think I can change. I'm gonna put this. See if this works. There is a echo feature here. See if that gets it. Say something.
Hello.
You
Still doing it.
See, I don't hear you. I don't hear it anymore over here. Hello.
Hello.
So I'm not echoing.
Hello. Yeah, no, you're not.
I don't hear it anymore. Coming through this end.
Yeah, I can hear me clear as day.
You can hear your echo clear as day.
Yeah.
Wow. That is kind of strange.
I'm checking my settings.
Look, before you echo us to death, give me, just give me two things that really strike you about what Waters had to say, especially dealing with where our tax dollars are going.
I mean, I'm 100% in. I've been saying that regardless of who the party responsible was, that we've been wasting money, man. That's why. Whenever I hear the Democrats talking about how we basically want to expand all these programs, which is going to mean that we have to increase taxes. I'm like, look, man, the money's all there already. We don't need to increase taxes. We don't need to give them more money because the money's all there.
Yeah.
We just need to audit what we have.
Why don't you try to log out and come back and see if that kills that echo? Because it wasn't there.
All right.
Yeah. Somebody tell me something about what they thought about Waters, man. I mean, for real, it really struck a nerve for me because the very idea of putting America first seems to be a crime on the left. If you want to, keep America great and keep America in the fight, then somehow you deserve to be clowned and mocked and targeted as a neo-Nazi because you support America before all other nations. And this is just the nonsense that we're faced with in the streets as a regular human being. That's what we're going through. And you're subject to get attacked if you stand for Donald Trump. Let me get my brother back in here.
All right.
Hello. Are you still got it?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. How?
The only thing that changed was when you played that video.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would have done.
It may be. Let me check this out. Let me stop sharing my screen because that's all I really did was share the screen. All right, talk to me.
All right, hello. Hey, that did it.
So I can't share my screen. That sucks. Can you share yours?
I don't know. Let's not try it.
All right, yeah, let's leave that alone for now.
We can do that in the back room or something.
Yeah, we don't want any more problems. But trust me, I have had enough. Hey, Warrior. Video. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And you notice I'm not stuttering all over the place and sounding like Joe Biden trying to talk with half his tongue cut off. I appreciate it.
All right.
So yeah,
Now that
brother,
we got
that's
that fixed, yeah. So, but I was just saying, hopefully the echo wasn't too crazy on your channel, but I was saying that, all this money is there, and even with all that we have, there's still too much, taxes. The government has
Right.
so much money of ours to spend, and we don't need to create more, programs and more revenue for them. We need to audit what they already have, and that's why we were talking. I was talking with somebody about police reform. What's up, Warrior? And I was just saying, a lot of these departments probably don't need any more money at all, even though some of them might, for training and whatnot. But more than anything, we have to be auditing the money that we already have and making sure that it goes to the right places and making sure that it actually gets used for what it's supposed to be getting used for.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, why? If there is no need for the money, why is it still being allocated? And I mean, the numbers don't go down. Their requests don't go down in necessity. They keep going up. They keep wanting more money. So I'm with you.
Yep.
Audit what where the money's going. And it's like, who do you get to do that? Who pulls that off?
Right.
Like nobody's, we haven't found a person that's had the courage to do it yet or even think about it because they're on the damn titty. They're on the payroll.
Right. That's the problem with all that is, like you saw with this omnibus spending bill, man, just out of control, man. These people are just like, yeah, we'll pass it. Just write me in this for this. Give me $1 billion for the Smithsonian. Give me, let me walk some lizards on treadmills, man. Like everybody wants their little cut of the pie, and then they're cool with the rest of the spending. And then they'll go out to the people, and say, it was like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was so crazy to me because at first I was like, because she came out on Twitter and was basically bashing the bill. She was like, "This is crazy." This is a 500 or 5,000 page, bill, and we got, basically in 2 hours to read it and figure out what's in it. Then she votes yes on it. So it was like I was happy at first because I was like, "All right, cool." She's calling them out, but then you look at the list of yeses and she's on there, and I'm like, "All right, well that doesn't make any damn sense."
Well, it makes sense when you're dealing with the majority of their base, and I hate to say this, but they don't read.
Yeah.
They hear. So she could publicly announce, "Oh man, I'm against that." Behind closed doors, sign yes, but like, is that even going to be in the mainstream media's newspaper? No. Is anybody on mainstream news going to actually bring that out publicly? No. Why? Because they're on the same titty. So she could just publicly, make an appearance and say, there's a problem with this. And then all of her backers and constituents and all of her AOCers can say, "Oh, yeah, get us more money." But secretly, she signs off on it behind closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah. And the average, you're right. The average, because that's what their base is. Their base is, they like to campaign to the low information voter. She can come out on Twitter and 90% of the people who saw that aren't going to do the rest of the research and go see if her name, if she voted for it or not. It's that 10%, 20% of even the Democrats that are, that are going to actually go in there and look it up and see and say, okay, well, she said that, but then she still voted for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's the issue. That's the unfortunate issue. That's the problem. But it's a well-oiled propaganda machine.
Yep.
It's well-oiled. This is some of the best bullshit I've ever seen. Brilliant. I can't knock the brilliance that's attached, to this. I don't even know what to call it. But whoever created this monster, it's pretty smart.
Well, that's the scary. the scary part about all of that is that the way I see government almost is kind of like this out of control, you know, this kind of runaway programmer, this runaway algorithm, so to speak. Like it it feeds itself at this point. It's kind of parasitic. It's like even on the right and the left, both parties are so guilty of just continually feeding this monster more power.
Right.
More and more power, more and more invasion, more and more reach into the invasion of the average Americans citizens privacy and all this. Whether it was the 9/11 and the oh, I can't remember the name of it. But the where the NSA started basically, or got
Right. Yeah.
so much of their power. Basically got the get out of jail free card. 100% go all in. Listen to them all, wiretap them all, man. And the problem is that none of that power ever gets rescinded. Once the government has the power, it never gives it back to the people. It
Oh yeah.
never
Yeah.
relinquishes itself of that power.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why we can't just give it to them, man. And I'm so glad you said that. But that's the reason why I do what I do. I know that's the reason why you do what you do. And all of the people that are connected to us and those that are not, that believe that and understand that once the government gets that power, brother, that's it. There is no let's renegotiate. There is no, okay, we'll give it back. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen, man. And it just bothers me that there's so many people willing to lay down and take it without even evaluating the history of these, people that have this type of mentality or ideology, man. Like, listen, Marxism is vicious and it's nasty. Communism, socialism, all of these governmental systems have failed. Every single one of them. And you just have people that are running down behind people like Bernie Sanders and, rooting for Joe Biden, even though, honestly speaking, straight up, brother, I don't think there's 100,000 people that rightly, truly trust Joe Biden.
Yeah. Even the hardest, hardcore Democrats they were laughing him off the stage during the DNC debates. I mean, nobody even thought he was going to be a legitimate candidate. He had so many gaffes where he couldn't even remember who the people on the stage were. I mean, he was getting everybody mixed up. Everyone was like, yeah, this guy's just kind of filler, he's fluff. He's just here to fill out the panel. Like and now
that's what it came down to, brother. He looked ridiculous, man. He's gaffed so many times, brother. There's a gaff collection on YouTube. You can find it right now.
Oh, there's thousands and thousands of hours of it, man.
Yeah, man.
That's why it cracked me up. Somebody put together. I remember I saw a Twitter where somebody had put together about a minute and a half of Trump basically doing the same thing as Biden. And I was like, all right, yeah, this is funny. But all you got's a minute and a half for me? Because I can find you probably 2-3 days worth of just nonstop footage of Joe Biden, man. I mean, it just goes on and on, man. It never ends with him.
Hey, I'm telling you, it is nonstop, brother. He is probably the funniest. I mean, brother, he's fumbling all over the place, brother. In public, the guy forgets who his wife is, forget where he went to church, he forgot where he went to school. He forgot where he was one night. That was hilarious. On stage talking about, thank you for inviting me. He said, oh, that's not here, that's down the street. Oh, I used to work there. I'm kidding. It was a joke.
That was a joke, yeah.
Come on, man. That's classic man. Joe Biden gaffery. I mean, and it's getting worse. But now when you play it now, check this out. If you listen to his phone call with the civil rights leaders, at the end of that phone call, he sounded like the dictator he's being paid to be behind closed doors.
Oh, man. That phone call was interesting.
He got nasty with the people, man. First of all, let's get one thing straight. I mean, he just jumped right in on him. Second
and
thing,
then what did he say?
I mean what I say.
Yeah, that one was funny to me. I mean what I say. President should mean what they say.
Yeah.
That one is cracking me
How
up,
about
man. 'Cause I can go back.
nobody's done what I've done. I've done more than anybody has done. I'm like, what the? Come on, man.
Done more than anyone up to this point.
What?
And then
Talking
he
about
said,
Charlottesville. About Charlottesville?
yeah, talking about it. That's it.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm like, Charlottesville, like everybody on all sides knows Charlottesville was bad. That was a bad thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody needs to be told that. And he's talking about, well, I'm out here talking about, I'm the only one talking about it. Yeah, you're the only one talking about it because you're that far behind, man. You gotta play catch up. The rest of us are, a year and a half, 2-3 years ahead of you.
Yeah, and the only thing that he really continued to speak on about Charlottesville was that that's the place where he started to depend Donald Trump as a racist. By
That
putting
one.
out the lie, he never denounced white supremacy. Tried it again at the presidential debates when we could just go clip after clip after clip after clip where he's openly denied and denounced.
There's a compilation of that one too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you keep saying that? But the sick part is how mainstream media just clips that part out, and he never says anything about it. It's just there were good people on both sides. That's the part they keep, and that's absolutely the truth. Everybody that came there didn't come there for war. On both sides, but there were also some knuckleheads on both sides, which is always the case. Always the case. You don't have a bunch of good apples all the time, or a bunch of bad. It's kind of a mixture.
That was one of the ones that got me. It was a combination. At first, that was one of the things that turned me off to Trump. And then that was one of the things that helped kind of unravel what the mainstream media was, the propaganda that was out there. Because even though I don't really listen to the news like that, you still see it. You still hear it. You hear other people talk about it. Did you see that one clip? Did you see what he said on CNN? So then you go look it up on your phone. But when I started finally pulling that thread and going back and realizing what the media was doing, that was one of the clips where I went back and I watched the whole speech, and he basically says, there were good people on both sides. Then he stops and he's like, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis, the Martins, the KKK, the white supremacists, and he goes through the whole list, or any other hate group, because they should be condemned totally. But there were good people on both sides, some who wanted the statue up, some who wanted the statue down. And then I was like, oh. And it was just one more brick that was like, okay, well, if they said that, what else? If that was false, what else was false? And then I just went back through, so.
Mm-hmm. And it's over and over. I'm gonna put Richie Poe killing it. I'm gonna put it back. Hey, mainstream media cherry picked and took Trump's words out of context from the very beginning, and that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact, man. I'm talking about these are some of the most creative script writers that I think I've ever encountered in my life of watching the news. I've never seen so many creative liars in my day, man.
Yeah. And that's not to say he hasn't said some dumb things either.
He has.
Because that's when I get, all the time, oh, what about he said it? Well, that's not the point I'm trying to make here. It's just that, we have this kind of like lens they created for this polarized view. But, I have my issues with him, and I have my issues with Republicans. You know what I mean? I have way more issues with Republicans. I'm pretty much, I'm finished with both of these parties, to be honest. I'm ready for the, we can call it the MAGA party. We can call it I like to call it the American party, but this is just people who are concerned Americans who are fed up with this crap. At the end of the day, this isn't, Republicans versus Democrats. This is, the free people against tyrannical government. And that's what it is, against runaway government, spending programs and invasion, privacy invasion, and power. This is a game for power. Yep. And the only way they get it is if the people willingly give it to them, or if they come in and take it by force. But if they come in and take it by force, then that's too obvious. They won't do that. They have to convince us to give it to them.
Yeah, the scare tactic. I mean,
the old
fear-mongering method is, it's proven to be absolutely, it's successful. It has a very high success rate when it comes to making people give up what they don't need to give up. Fear always seems to win. These fear mongers. Freedom versus communism. Hey, yeah. I mean, you can call it the Freedom Party. I like the American Party too.
I like that too.
Hey, but the Freedom Party sounds like that's killer. Yeah.
I like that too,
I'm voting for the Freedom Party. Hey, we need to make that happen.
Freedom Party, man. No, let's make it happen, man. We get some shirts, man.
Freedom
Party.
Party.
That's a common misconception too, man. People, always bring this into, Trump this and Trump that. Or what about when Trump did this? Or what about when Trump did that? Or what about when Republicans did this? Or what about when Republicans did that? At the end of the day, I don't give a damn about the Republican Party or really Trump for that matter. I'm glad that Trump did a lot of the things that he did because and I'm glad that he is the way he is because he helped the media. The media did it to themselves, and the Democrats pulled the mask off. But their ferocity, they showed their true grimy savageness by the way they came after him. And he kind of made me realize that the Republicans, he was not supposed to be the candidate, and he definitely wasn't supposed to win that election. And the Republicans and the Democrats made that pretty damn obvious. And the fear that I have is that now we turn this program back over to the establishment who created it in the first place. They are the problem. They are the reason why we got to this. They are, Trump is a symptom, not the disease, not the virus. He had nothing, he just came in and did what he had to do, but he wouldn't have even had the opportunity had the people not been in such a, I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, we just had we were all sick and tired of it, man. And he came in there and he pointed at all these Republicans in the debates, and even during against the Democrats and against Hillary, he pointed at every single one of them and said, "I put money in your pocket, in your pocket, in your pocket, in your pocket, in your pocket," and then mic drop. What do you have left to say? You know what I mean? And then they were like, "All right, okay." So then he wins the RNC. He wins the Republican candidacy, and then he goes to debate Hillary, and he basically tells her the same thing. "Oh, I'm putting money in your pocket and in Bill's pocket, and you should be in jail." And that was it. I mean, everyone was like, all right, well, we got a bunch of criminals in here. Let's try something different. Let's try a populist. Let's try a businessman. So.
I mean, he definitely smoked them. And I remember I was watching it, brother. I was like, bro, I've always liked Trump. I really like this guy now because, like, he went in there, brother, with balls too big to walk. And just, like you said, he just called them all out, man. And one of the most impressive things that he told them is that, you don't like me because none of your interests are being served by me because you don't have any influence over me financially. I'm independent. And that pissed every one of them off to the point where mainstream media was like, he's just some, pungent, arrogant asshole that's flaunting his money. Like, what? This ain't about money flaunting. This is about a reality in the world of politics that's been existing underneath the sheets, in the darkness, in the depth of the sea of the deep state. Many Americans couldn't see it, and those who could and spoke out against it were tagged as conspiracy theorists. So
you know what? And I don't really have a problem with him flaunting his money to some degree because at least he's making money, and you could say what you want. Maybe he hasn't been 100%, on the up and up all the time, but he made his money, doing business in being a real estate mogul. And yes, he had a fortune that he was born into, but, he made money, through business. All these, snake oil salesmen, politicians that are, you notice that Bernie Sanders, I'm sure you notice, stopped saying the word millionaires. He used to say the millionaires and the billionaires. Well, now he just says the billionaires because he is a millionaire now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Joe Biden too. You see, Joe Biden's got properties all over the country. Millions of dollars worth in property. these politicians don't make money through business, through tax paying business. They get handouts from the corporations, and that's on all sides, man.
Yeah.
And it's sickening, man. Like I want someone in there who understands how to build a business, who understands what it feels like to pay those taxes. That's how you get these people in there who are just so ready to tax. Oh yeah, everyone that makes over this amount, you're paying 90% in taxes now, or whatever. That's how you get that, is because they've never had to run their own business. They've never had to pay their own taxes like that because they've always been in government, and someone is always just handing them a check and putting money in their pockets to lobby for whatever cause.
Yeah, and the corporations keep getting bigger and bigger and giving more and more money. And, at some point, like I think we're there now, it's the corporations that are pretty much, fueling the drive of our political, of our policies and the people that we elect. I mean, we're only electing, big tech puppets and big pharma puppets at this point, man.
Well, there's a reason why, Jeff Bezos is actively, he's 100% in on the $15 minimum wage.
Okay.
Because he can afford to pay it.
Right.
If everyone has to pay $15 minimum wage, that's just free. Someone else is fighting his battle for him. He doesn't even have to worry about, fighting these, basically buying out all these companies that are his competition anymore, because that's gonna hurt him, more than he ever could.
Oh, that's gonna crush the game, brother.
Yeah.
And you got these morons that think that raising the minimum wage is just going to benefit our economy. They're clearly not economists. They clearly don't understand how this works. Not to mention the excessive taxes once they try to repeal all of the Trump tax cuts, get rid of those. You know what I'm saying? It's a recipe for absolute disaster by design.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But
The
again,
Great Reset.
common old man. The Great Reset. That's how you get it done. You have to crush what's absolutely working. It's working in a very, very, high efficient manner, and then you just got to find a way to crush it in order to bring in the Great Reset. And for those who don't believe that China is at the helm of this, China is the nation that's set to benefit the most from America's demise economically.
And they're struggling right now.
Yeah.
They need this Biden presidency.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They can't survive another 4 years. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying they can't wait, because they probably got pictures of Joe Biden been over screwing the pig or getting screwed by a pig. They got him hook, line, and sinker, blackmailed all the way, and Hunter, and that's their ticket. If we can get this fool in, we can come back up, because 4 more years of Trump will absolutely destroy them.
They can't do it, man.
That's
what was crazy too about Trump. It was like, you would think, you know what I mean? Because people like to make a lot of excuses for Biden, but it was like, this guy's been on camera his whole life. Because people like to say, well, yeah, there's a lot more, Joe's messed up a lot more because he's been doing this for 29 years or 48 years or whatever. Like, he's been doing it all his life, and that's why. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, because Trump's been on camera his whole life. He's been famous his whole life. So if there was really some groundbreaking, serious dirt on him besides, oh, he slept with the porn star and then paid her to keep quiet about it, who cares about that, honestly?
No, I mean,
do we really care about that? She was of age. He just the main mistake he made was trying to pay her to be quiet about it. Who cares if she talks about it?
I slept with one of the richest
it is what it
men in the
is
world at that time. Hey, I had a good time. I mean,
it is what it is, man. But
it happens.
It kind of is, and I think that's what scares them the most at this point. Everything's out of the closet. If Trump gets 4 more years in there, it's balls to the wall, man. And I think he's sending all these cockroaches scattering out of there. The lights are on, man. And they're just hoping Biden comes on and flips that switch back off. Please let us get back to what we were doing, because, if they come in with that raid, man, if they start putting down them roach traps, we're screwed. If he's got 4 more years, when all the dirt's everything is out on Front Street as far as Trump goes. There's nothing else to dig up on him. You know what I mean? And every minute of his life, every, breath he breathes in and out is tweeted about, everyone's all waiting for the next, I don't know what half of these media outlets are going to do whenever, if it goes the way they want it to go. I don't know what they're going to do because they're all going to die. They were dying anyways, and Trump kind of gave them some CPR, giving them something to talk about. But
well, I think if Donald Trump wins, a lot of people that we see on the mainstream media aren't going to have media presence anymore, and I think a lot of people aren't going to have political careers anymore either.
Yeah, they didn't really have any, but mainstream media was dying already,
Oh yeah,
because of the internet. And that's why you saw the change in how, across the spectrum, you used to have media outlets generally, crossing over a lot and having similar stories, and they had their tips back and forth of different outlets, but for the most part, they were all covering generally the same things in similar manners, and they had their opinions on it and stuff. But then you saw it just get real vicious. And that was because they just needed that headline. They needed that clickbait. They needed the attention, because now instead of just, competing against your, panel of mainstream outlets across the country, you're competing with millions and millions of channels and websites and, online newspapers and everything like that. You have so much competition now. And so they were kind of drowning, almost. I still think they're on their way out. I don't know how much longer they can actually survive. But I mean, everybody's pretty much fed up with that mainstream narrative anyways. Or the way they present information anymore.
Yeah, CNN is dead. MSNBC is dead. They're holding on to a political line that's soon to fade. I'm with you. And I mean, we see the wave of the new mainstream media outlets, Newsmax, ONA, Epic Times. I mean,
right. I like Right Side Broadcasting too.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, we see the new wave of media, the new wave of real news, people that are actually going to tell it like it is. I mean, we see it taking place right now. It's got to be a great time for real journalists in America right now. For the real ones.
I mean, it's a good time for me.
NTD News, we saw them live. I mean, they were there deep, getting it done, reporting the truth, and CNN barely covered it. All the other outlets barely covered it. Yeah, man, it's over with for them.
Yeah. I mean, were you at the first rally in DC?
I missed the 9 o'clock one because I didn't know what the heck it was.
But I'm saying
the first rally. Yeah, I was there too. Yeah.
Yeah, not the second one that we met at, but the one before that.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, I was there.
Man, mainstream media didn't want to cover that one.
No, they didn't want no parts of that.
That was
too much,
huge,
too much
man.
Red, too much red and white out there, bro. Too much red and white. Too many.
I mean, it was stretched for blocks, man, from Freedom Plaza all the way up to the Supreme Court. It was just packed. Man, the whole street was just a wave of Trump hats and flags and American flags, and
it was beautiful. I got awesome footage there. Let me tell you, Fox is down 40%. I need to see him go down another 60, and I'll be satisfied, Taylor.
Yeah, I'm done.
60%.
I'm done.
I will be satisfied. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, and that's why I like some of the stuff that like Ben Shapiro's trying to do. That he's bringing on a bunch of people. He's bringing on Candace Owens to the Daily Wire, and I think he's going to bring on Brandon Tatum too, and he's basically trying to create basically like Netflix but for conservatives, Oh
yeah.
So instead of all the instead of the because all of the media right now is so just shoving LGBTQ down your throat, shoving socialism down your throat. It's like it spreads all that leftist narrative, and it's in every show now. You can't watch it. I don't do Netflix anymore anyways, but any of the shows we watch now are like, and the only thing I watch now is like the Dog Whisperer, like Caesar Milan, like I watched all the Survivor. Like I don't really watch any like TV shows anymore because I hate running into that. You know, that narrative is just so thick throughout all TV shows and movies now. It's just so obnoxious. So it's going to be good to see, you know, just regular TV and conservative families and conservative values on TV. So
Well, we're coming to it. And if Tatum pushes that through, hey, I'm in. What's going on? The Ronnie Patriot. What's happening, brother?
what's up, Ronnie? Yeah, it'd be good to see, man. There's a lot of people trying to do that too. And you know, I mean, even isn't Tyler Perry, I mean, he's more focused on just fixing the culture. He doesn't really care about the politics aspect of it, but he's pretty good, right?
Hey,
I watch his movies every once in a while. It's a lot better than, you know.
Yeah. But he is you know, he's one of the LGBTQ community's highest funders.
Is he?
I mean, he loves it.
That's a shame.
And I'm not even against, you know, people living their lives, man. I have no discrepancy of a man choosing to be gay or a woman choosing to be lesbian, because I'm not their judge. But at this point, it's bigger than just what a person wants in the secrecy of their own home, or if they want to openly be gay, that's fine. But now they're crossing the border of you know, trying to force it, like you said. They're trying to indoctrinate and trying to create an entire generation of people who won't adhere to, you know, the gender of male and female and procreate.
Yeah. And that's my thing too. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't care if you want to do whatever you want to do in the privacy of your own home is fine with me. You know, and honestly, I don't have anything against, you know, transgenders as long as you're 18 and up, man. I mean, but when you start forcing it on these children, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah,
When you start
8 to 10-year-olds. That's Joe Biden's.
Yeah, that's something else, man.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I can't sign on to that, man.
What's up, Todd? Good
What's
to
up,
see you,
Todd?
brother. You know what I mean? That's at some point, like, when do you draw the line? When do you draw the line? And now the way that it's being taught in college institutions, you really don't even give people a choice, because if you don't accept the narrative, then you're a gay basher. Now you're stereotyped, and you're you know, you're kind of ostracized for having a pure conservative perspective. And again, we all know just from what we see regularly on TV that this in and of itself is an anti-Christian agenda.
Yeah.
Bottom line, we can dress it up and put a lot of other toppings on it, but at its core, this is about ridding America of her trust and faith in God and the moral standard that He gave us to live by. And not that any of us are perfect, but man, it's one hell of a way to live, and it's a peaceful way to live, and it's a means of self-governance other than being subject to big government. And we know what happens when big government gets ruled. Like, not only they not get it back, but they bring oppression. I mean, really, can you imagine concentration camps in America?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. It's one thing to just say, you know, you need to be accepting, you know, of the. It's not even that bad to me to say like you should be accepting of, because the way I see, you should be accepting of LGBTQ. You just shouldn't go out of your way to be. Don't be a dick. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I kind of see that. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like let me be me, and that's cool. That's fine. But what where it becomes a problem for me is when no, it's not just enough that I can do my thing, you know, uninterrupted and, you know, no one bothers me. You need to understand it now. You need to sit down and let me talk to you about critical race theory, and let me talk to you about, you know, let me talk to you about how many genders there are, and understand it. Like I don't need all that, man. Like I do that on my own time, you know, because I want to understand this stuff because I'm getting involved. But I'm saying for the average person, like, would you go to work like at places like Amazon and wherever else? Like, you don't need to be sat down and given a diversity course and like, you know,
yeah, it's force feeding at this point.
That's different. Yeah. That's kind of forcing it on everybody. So
Yeah, I mean, this message from Taylor. Hey, I'm actually a lesbian that I don't need to associate with the LBGT. I think that's an oppressive cult, and she's right. I mean, what you do with your life is your business. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, what you want to do is what you want to do, and in this country, you can freely do it as long as it doesn't violate the rights and freedoms of other people. But they're taking it to an extreme where, like, I am absolutely mind blown by the drag queen story hour. That, brother, I can't. Have you seen this? I mean, do you even know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, brother, this is absolutely
Yep.
absurd. And I said this before. Somebody gonna get their ass whooped. You watch what I tell you. Somebody ass is gonna officially get whooped behind that. I can't imagine what I would do if I came home and my son, who's in kindergarten, told me that hey, a drag queen came to school today, and I sat on his lap, and he looked like a girl, but I could see he was a man, and he read me a book called My Little Boy Princess, and it just made me feel like I want to be a girl, brother. I would lose my everlasting mind, man.
This is why me and my wife are talking about homeschooling right now, man. Because we're like, we basically want to be in a position where we can homeschool because, and I mean, we live in the Carolinas, so we'll be all right. But for the most part, but still, you never know, man. One day, the right superintendent gets put in there, or the right principal. You don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Well, I know what's gonna happen if one of my kids come home with that nonsense. I know exactly what's gonna happen, man. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a real problem. And I mean, just the boldness of these. Like, I cannot remember this man's name, but he's a woman, at least pretending to be a woman, and he's in California, and he is like the board of directors for the Department of Education, man. Like, I don't have an issue. You don't want to discriminate against people for their sexual preference or whatever, but at some point you have to see that this is not good. Sex education has no place in K-1 schools, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, bro.
Well,
I'm telling you, somebody's gonna get crushed behind this. You watch.
And that's part of it. That's another part of that larger machine of government. It's like you have this that provides, parents for your children. Essentially, you have this structure set up to where, the parents go to, have time to go to work a shift, and their kids get to stay in school and stay after school, and you basically have schools raising your kids now instead of parents raising their kids. In a lot of situations, it's a lot easier for the parents to lean on the schools, and then whenever the kids get home, they just hand them an iPad and they go take a nap and relax. Like, so you should be the one talking to your kid about sex and about all that other stuff. When they start asking all those questions of how and why, and, you should be the one as parents explaining to them how all this stuff works and what all this stuff is. And, not the school. It's not the school's place to do that.
It's not. And that is part of the destroy the family influence agenda also. I mean, and then Todd is right. You keep that stuff out of schools, man. And like you said, man, now you want the teachers who are already overworked and underpaid. Now you want them to take on the responsibility of teaching your children about sex and answering the tough questions. They don't even want to pay the teachers, right? And I don't want a teacher teaching my children about what, the moral values that they need to be governed by, simply because society in and of itself wants to adopt, or be intrusive with how they, relate to one another on a gender basis. So you're not supposed to relate to a woman as a woman because the woman wants to be a man. So you're going to make me, even though I clearly see you're a woman, you want to force me to acknowledge you as a man and allow you to go into the men's bathroom. It's just a bunch of confusion. So yeah. I'm just supposed to just accept all of that, call that in the name of what's the name they want, coexisting. And I just have to accept that. However, one of the things that I've always said was, if a homosexual wants me to accept them, for who they are, I mean, my question is, well, why didn't you accept who you were before you decided to become someone else? So you want acceptance, but you don't want to accept the fact that I don't accept that. And if it comes, I don't even have to associate with you. But now you want to put it right in front of me and make me do it, feed it to my children, force it into my home through media, force it into my ears through music. You got to be kidding me, man.
See, and that's what I've never really understood about, and obviously I can't put myself in those shoes. I try to be, because I understand that not every person who's trans or like, Taylor was talking about earlier, she's not part of she's lesbian, but she's not part of that community because of the way that, so I understand that part of, I think we have viewers through the channels that are trans and stuff. And, but it's like, I've never really understood personally how, you only get the 1 and the 0 to choose from. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, why does it matter, to you if someone else confirms, or affirms what you already believe? If you believe and you feel this way, or this is how you feel, or this is who you like, why does it matter that anybody else, acknowledges that? Like, I have a lot of, personal thoughts or beliefs about myself, and it doesn't matter to me one way or the other what people think about me. I get criticism for doing and saying, speaking my mind. It rolls off, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep doing my thing regardless. Like, I don't need you to call me a they, them, or a they, or whatever. Like, who cares about all that stuff? Just be who you want to be, man. Like, I think a lot of that stuff just boils down to people, getting in touch with themselves and trying to find themselves and figure out what their personality is and how they react in certain situations and who they are. Like, and it gets kind of muddied up. You have these like Abigail Schroyer writes about it, where you have these girls who basically, it's kind of like that whole gay for the stay thing. It's like you go through it and you're around it. Like you got all these friends. It happens a lot in females, in adolescent females, and basically one girl in the group, because it happens, like, girls sync up their periods. Like, girls are a lot more emotionally connected than guys are. So one girl starts to go through it and say, like, oh, I think I'm trans. And she really might be, and that's how she feels. But then the other women, empathize with that, and they have strong emotions trying to support her. And then now they're taking on her burden of that emotional burden from her and trying to share that. And then now they feel like that's what they are too. So then you got this whole group that basically changes, and then, they end up, changing back, or they have, severe psychology disorders because of that. And Abigail Schroyer writes about that. She writes a really good book about that. She did a lot of studies on that and interviewed a lot of young trans. So it's just confusing, man. It's like, let kids be kids, man. And if they're going through that stuff, again, that's really more for the parents. Like, parents have to be, involved in their kids' lives, and they have to take care of it so that they don't need the community. They don't need the school. They don't need, because that's something that I don't like now either, is that you have, the school is allowed to basically call you another name and refer to you as another gender without informing the parents now, in most places across the state or a country.
That's actually the standard. As long as the child ascribes to the particular gender, then they're just egging it on, man. They're just supporting it.
Well, but and the parents might be supportive. You never know. Like, either way, they need to be informed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
The teachers are the ones that are supporting it, and just fueling it, and that's not their place.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's not their place. It's just like Oprah said, hey, be what you want and quit announcing it. I don't announce that I'm heterosexual. I mean, hey, it's your business. Keep it your business. Keep it out of schools, and man, damn, keep it away from the children, man. I mean, we're talking little kids. Like, how about that 9-year-old that got on the stage with Booty Judge? I call him Booty Gay. Yeah, I call him Booty Gay. I wrote a song about Booty Gay. But it's absolutely staged. Number one, he gets on stage and say, I want to, be bold like you and have the courage like you to let the world know that I'm gay. He's 9 years old, bro. 9 years old. Where the hell are his parents? And why? Oh my God. See, at that point, that's, you want to get the sniper a rifle and just rid the earth of people like that. You come on, why would you even do that? The first thing you be telling the kid, listen, you're way too young. You don't know what this is about. Live your life, grow, and when you become a man and you decide that this is what you want to do it. But now it's not the time. It is time for you to discover who you are. That's what a responsible adult would tell
Exactly.
a 9-year-old.
And that's been my stance on it. I'm like, look, man, because people have said that to me. They're like, hey, so you're married. What if this if that happened to be your kid? I'm like, that's fine, but I would not support it until they were 18. I would tell them, look, this is your birth name. This is what I'm going to call you. This is how I'm going to refer to you. I'm not gonna put you in the corner, or make you live under the stairs like Harry Potter or something, but you need to go to school, be a kid, and live your life and figure out what you want. If you still want this when you're 18, hell, I'll pay for the surgery. Whatever you want, man. When you get 18 and you're grown and that's what you want to do, as long as I'm not still paying for your college,
Yeah.
do what you want to do, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
for now, man, just be a kid, man.
Just be a kid. Oh my God. Go play at the park. Make some friends. Play video games. Go build a fort in the backyard in the woods or something. I mean, go do something besides
just
try to get
take
your
a stick and
off.
dig a hole in the ground, man.
Child
Shouldn't even be worried about that stuff.
Booty gig. Yeah, I call him booty gay, booty gig. Yeah, he needs all of those titles because he's an absolute fool, man.
Absolute I went live a little while ago. Gamers in my chat talking about he said they banned religious speech halfway through his high school, and then he asked if we still do the pledge in the morning. I don't know if I'm pretty sure our schools still do the pledge in the morning, but they might not. I think there's kids that sit down now during the pledge in the morning.
Yeah.
But I mean, at my high school, when I went to high school, we had FCA, man. We had meetings. We had the early meetings in the morning. Like when you got off the bus early, you went to if you wanted to, you could go to the gym and you had like a little Bible study and we'd pray before we went to class. Like there was other, like you could either go to the cafeteria and sit with everybody else until the first bell rung, or you could go to the gym and go to FCA. And we did that every morning. But apparently that's probably banned now in his high school, which is a shame.
Yeah, bro. It is a shame. And you take prayer out of schools, you take prayer out of anything, and that's you're taking God out, and you open up the door for our adversary to just run amok and do whatever. And it's crazy, man. Like Todd, Autry hit it on the head, Lofa, Taylor, man, they all hit it on the head, man. You have to. Well, I mean, we have to secure the purity of our children. We have to, and it's so unfortunate that so many people have access to our children, and that their influence grows to be more than the influence of the people that are in the home with them, raising them, taking care of them. It's unfortunate, and the reason it is that way is because we allowed it, man. We didn't stand up when we needed to. But enough's enough, if you ask me. It's been enough.
Yep.
It's
been enough. It's been enough since before I was born, I'm sure. But now that I'm getting involved and realizing this stuff, I mean, and that's what, man, I can't say it enough, man. Like, this is not Democrat and Republican anymore, man. This is not black and white. This isn't Hispanic and China, whatever. Like, this is free Americans who want to remain free and not be ruled by a tyrannical government and not let this thing get out of control, man.
Yeah.
That's all it really boils down to at this point, because that whole the whole party, the parties are the same bird at this point. Two wings of the same bird. That's the way they're behaving. A lot of them, I know they still exist, on the right. There are some Republicans out there who still actually care, but most of them are on the local level, or the majority of them are on the local level, the state level, and there's very few left, in the federal government, unfortunately. A lot of these people are just out there saying what they need to say, and then when it comes time to do the deed, then they're saying, "Yeah, we should just accept Biden as president. Why are we still trying to fight this, man? Yeah, we should sign this omnibus spending bill for, $1 billion. Let's send $1 billion. Look, $1 billion for Egypt is basically $1 billion to Russia. Let's be honest.
I
because
mean, yeah,
Egypt is just going to spend all that money buying weapons from Russia. That's what they're going to
yep.
do.
Russia
For
gonna sell
anybody
it
who
to them.
didn't know, now you know. That's what
Yep,
Egypt does with all of our money that we give them. They go buy
yep,
weapons from Russia.
yep. And
So,
Russia gonna take that money. Russia want that money.
oh yeah.
Russia
So, oh yeah.
wants that money.
And I was like, I'm seeing Democrats too. That's why I was saying this. Like, I've been saying this, man. Look, come up there and march with us, man. Come to DC. Come see what it's about. Stand in it for yourself and realize, what the movement is. Because again, man, this isn't about Republicans, man. This is about, American citizens, man. Free American citizens who want to remain free. I hate to see that kind of like biased thought, train of thought where it's just like everything is, oh, what about Trump or what about the Republicans or what? I'm like, I don't care about any of them, man. I care about you. I care about all the American, people that are around me. Everybody that comes up there and that cares. Like, even as much as I disagree with Antifa and their beliefs and Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, I'll hand it to them for getting out there and protesting and at least they're saying, they're doing what they think is right. They're standing up for what they think, is right. Even though I disagree with that, it's a lot better than anybody else on the left is doing, which is just sitting in there in the office signing away more of our freedoms over to the government.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Taking that
whoa.
money under the table.
Whoa, hey, Richard, who signed what, brother? He said he signed it. Who signed what? I need to know because I hope you ain't
No
talking
way.
about what I think you're talking about.
I hope he's not.
Oh my God. Whew. That is, well, I just hope he's not talking about what I think he is talking about. He
I
signed
hope he's not.
Okay, I don't know. Well, hopefully Richie will let us know what
Oh, damn.
and I hope he didn't sign what I think he signed.
I gotta find this, man. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta fix this
I hope he's
banner.
just playing a bad joke, man.
I do too. I swear to God, I hope he did not. There we go. I hope he did not do. No.
Oh, man. That's what it's saying, man.
What? Get the hell. He signed the bill, man. Okay, people. This is what. All right, Richard. Look, just tell us you playing, brother. We'll forget you ever
I'm
said
looking it up, man.
come on. I gotta look that up. Come on, man. Wow.
It's looking like he's right. 26 minutes ago, 3 hours ago, Trump signs relief bill despite criticism from The Hill, from CNN, Chicago Sun-Times, The Guardian. Yeah, it's looking bad, man.
All right, so Warrior TB said, yep, he signed it to avoid government shutdown. I mean, maybe the government needs to be shut down so we can take a breath for a minute. Just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is unbelievable.
That, and he was getting. I know he was getting a lot of pushback from saying, like, oh well, what about all the the unemployment benefits are going to stop, this, that, and the other. Still, I mean, I wouldn't care it, honestly. Damn.
Okay. Wow. That
Trump is getting tired. I mean, I'm sure he is, but
I bet he is. Stop. God, man, I cannot believe that. Cannot believe that. Wow. Mm-mm. I mean, to be honest, man, I don't even want that $600 because, as soon as you start taking handouts from the government, man, they start taking things from you, like your freedom,
yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's strings attached, man. All that money is strings attached.
all day. All day. every day. It's, every time they hand out something, their hand is out too, and they're taking more and more from us. More and more people are losing more and more freedom. And it's not just happening in America. This is a global takeover. This is not just happening here.
Yeah.
And it's a lot worse in some places now because, they don't have, amazing constitutions like we do. They don't have, I don't even know what they don't have outside
They
of
have nothing. They have
Constitution.
nothing to protect them. Yeah, their
Yeah.
version of the Constitution. They don't have the Bill of Rights. They don't have the First Amendment and Second Amendment in most other countries.
Yeah.
And they're trying to take that here. They're trying to take that First Amendment. They really want that First Amendment gone.
Oh yeah, first and second.
Because it's all downhill from there. And I was talking.
Taylor's right.
Somebody was trying to tell me.
If you do sign it, he's bad too. So either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely right, man. It's ridiculous.
That's why I wish he would just quit caring, man, because they're gonna tell you he's bad anyways, man. I wish he would have vetoed that thing, man. Shut it all down, man. You're right. Maybe they do need to be shut down. We can breathe and think about this stuff. Think about the decisions we're gonna make. Think about the power we're ready to just hand over. Not gonna lie, man. That's a little depressing.
It is. It is. It is. I mean, do we have any good news? Does anybody have any good news out there? If you got good news,
man,
I'll send you a link to come on and share your good news. Anybody, just say I have good news. I'll shoot you a link. Please help clear the damn air over here. We are breathing in communist fog, smog. I mean, damn. Oh my God. It's like, whew. Come on, Richie, give me something good, brother. Tell me you got something good. Taylor, Lofa, anybody, Ronnie the Patriot. Somebody say, I don't have to bring you on. Just give me a link to some good news. Send me and Nacho a link to something, just bring us some cheer. Because Christmas didn't really do it for me. It didn't really do it for me.
Christmas had vans exploding and all kinds of crazy stuff.
My God, yeah, man, the van exploding on Christmas Day.
Ronnie said the bomb, this trash truck, was 5 miles away from my house and it didn't blow up. Damn, son. What? Ronnie said the bomb. Remember the second truck I was telling you about? That's probably what he's talking about. Said it was 5 miles away from his house and it didn't blow up. That's good news. Okay.
Okay.
The second van.
It's kind of hybrid news, both good and bad. Like the truck was that close, but it's very good. It didn't blow up. So I'll take a little hybrid news and absolute buffoonery that we've been dealing with. I mean, bro. I mean, look, even Fetters was like, I think I got to take a break from this political vein, brother, because I am drained. I am so out of it. It's for my health. I mean, when the brother starts saying his health is in danger because this is too stressful, this is stressful stuff.
Dude, bro, I bought I got some gift cards from family because everybody asked me what I want for Christmas or whatever, and I was just like, books, man, books. That's all I want. Give me Amazon gift cards so I'll go buy some books because I'm trying to build up a library, and I got a couple books on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and some other stuff, and I was just like, man, I've been thinking the same thing. Like it's just, but I gotta keep going, man. Like even when I don't feel like talking about stuff or don't feel like doing stuff, like I just feel like I gotta keep doing it because people are out here trying to figure out what's going on, and they want to hear real people talk about it. They don't want to hear CNN and Fox and all this other crap. They want to hear how real citizens of this country are dealing with this stuff. So It's tough though. Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, I feel Fetter's pain, man. And like, try this on for size. Fresh off the Chinese Communist Party hotline, the world should look to China for its coronavirus vaccines and ignore the alternatives. The Chinese Communist Party warned Thursday, adding that to do otherwise is an explicit example of cultural racism. What? So you're a racist if you don't want some foreign goop injected into your veins
That isn't working.
that isn't working?
If you haven't, yeah, if you haven't paid attention to the coronavirus vaccine in China, you should check that out. That's one. That's funny. I mean, it's not, but it's funny that they say that. Meanwhile, their vaccine is getting people sick, and that and the people who are getting the vaccine are now getting sick with coronavirus or developing like a different strand. Like they're having so many problems with their virus or with their vaccine. I mean, in China right now.
Yeah, but if you
So
don't
that's
take it, you're a racist. You're a racist. You're a
call me a
racist.
racist, I guess, man. I'm over it at this point, man. They already
Yeah,
called me that,
I'm not,
anyways.
yeah, I'm not gonna inject my. I'm not gonna let anybody inject me like that, bro. I can't even imagine. I mean, at this point, brother, if you could just walk in there and just say, "Okay, give it to me," you're detached from reality. I mean, you are really struggling with reality. Now, here, just stick me right here, or
Yeah,
bend
man,
over
I
and
can't.
do the weird
Well,
thing.
it's not even that, man. Like this vaccine is different than it doesn't even work the same way as a regular vaccine works, man, and that spooks me. I'm like, it might be the greatest thing ever, but it's not the same as any of the other vaccines that we've had in the past, and we're just supposed to, like you said, okay, here you go, man, shoot me up, doc, let me
Yeah, I'll
have it.
take that. I'll take that. Give me that.
I'll take two, man. Do you see the video of the nurse
Oh yeah,
that passed out right after? Was like
yeah,
having a damn seizure.
yeah. How about the fake injection though? Did you see that one?
I No, I didn't actually get to see the whole the video. I kept seeing.
Fake injection. I saw the video. The syringe pin is all the way down. Sticks it in the guy's arm. Moves his thumb a little bit. Pulls it out. Oh, I got the vaccine. Oh, I got the vaccine. Oh, I mean, he started shaking it up, dancing and partying. I got the vaccine. Never injected a damn thing. And my sister in that, like, okay, they really think we're stupid now. Okay, this is absurd. All right, they have pinned Americans to be absolute idiots. If we don't know the difference between a loaded syringe and an unloaded syringe, yeah, we're modern day cavemen rolling around on rocks for wheels on our cars, and we have trauma, block wheel trauma to the brain because we keep just shaking like.
It's all about that low information base, man.
That's crazy, man.
It's all about that low information base, man.
Boy.
Media loves them, and the left loves them too, man.
Oh, crazy dog. Come here. Thank you. Say hey to the people. Oh, man, I'm gonna let you speak to him. I know you want to. He is a freak. Come here, boy. Say hey. Come on, get up here, you big fool. Say hey, everybody. Hey, what's going on? This is Boogie, and he is a liquor. Don't mess with the
Boogie.
mic. Hey, it's old Boogie Woogie. Say hey, Boogie.
Nice.
Say to your fans, buddy. Woo. Yeah, the first DC trip, he was with me. All right, boy. Okay.
Oh, really? Dude, I thought about bringing my dogs, man, but I don't. I wonder.
Microphone. Where you go?
I wouldn't bring them this time, but
away from me. Good God. Get out. Get out.
I thought about bringing my dogs, though. We just couldn't find like a pet hotel or anything like that.
No, buddy. Don't keep coming back. Boy. Yeah, I had him down there with me, man, and he was hyped up. I mean, he's so lovable, man. He'll go home with you. So needless to say, I had to keep him real close because he just loves people. He'll lick you to death. Yeah, I got footage of him just jump right in the police officer's arms, man. Like, here, come here, let me give you a lick in the face. See if you like that. Come on, boy. You like it? 'Cause I got plenty of them for you. Yeah, he's cool.
That's awesome.
Just and look, listen, I showed a clip of Bill Gates. Let me see. I wonder if I have that clip on my hard drive. This fool,
Yeah, pull up the one with the empty syringe too, because I kind of want to see it. I still haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
But I do got to go grab. Let me grab some water real quick though.
All right. Let me see. I don't remember that one. Empty. Videos. Here we go. Yeah, Anna. He's a puppy. He's a good one. He's a good guy. All right, we got 21 seconds for this. I need to unmute it too. There we go. Let me back that up. And I'll show the video as soon as Nacho get back. And man, let me see what Taylor's saying. Angry Miss Lady, what is up? It's sad they are covering her death up to promote this vaccine. I mean, it is because there are trillions of dollars worth of annual income attached to this vaccine, Taylor, and that's why they are going to hide this lady's death forever. Nobody. It's sad. It's just really ridiculous. Angry Miss Lady, what's going on? Hi. Is anybody in this chat room going to take the vaccine? Everybody who's going to take the vaccine, press a 1 in the chat. Who's not? If you're not going to take the vaccine, press a 0. For all of you vaccine lovers, come on, hit that 1 for me. Let's see who's going to take the ooze. There you go, Ronnie. I wouldn't do it either, brother. Nah, not for me. Oh, that's a bunch of zeros. That's a bunch of zeros there. Woo! I put something in the chat. If you're going to take the vaccine, press 1. If you're not going to take the vaccine, press 0. And yeah, I got a bunch of zeros. I think I'll add my 0.
What it is, man.
It is what it is, and it is a 0 for me too. All right, so I got the clip. Let me remember. I know how to get rid of that echo now. Just stop sharing the screen. So let me share the screen, and you can check this out for yourself. Here we go. Let me share that and the audio. All right, let's see. That ought to be You see that syringe head? Oh, did you stop? Okay, let me back that up again. Look at it. You see that syringe head is pressed down, right? I don't know why it's freezing up like that.
Nurse number 3.
So what do you think about that? Hey, your mic is muted.
Hello.
Yeah.
I was making fun. I was like pretending to push, like he can't push it any further, and he pushes his thumb all around on it, like. Oh man!
Wow. I mean,
wait, Nancy got the vaccine with the cap on. Is that real? I hope
Yeah,
that's
I
real,
mean,
man. That would be some funny stuff. I could see that now. Come on. Fauci said a
but
black
how
woman
dumb
helped
are we,
to
brother?
develop the vaccine. What the?
Come on
Damn,
now,
son.
brothers and sisters. Fauci said a black. All right. Okay. I mean, but really, like, how dumb do people have to really think we are to put that out there? Like, that's really a human being taking a vaccine, brother. I'm insulted, man.
Yeah.
I'm insulted, man. That somebody actually thinks I'm that dumb that I can't see that that's not a real deal. That's not the real job. That's not the real job. And somebody thinks I'm stupid enough to buy it. I wish I knew who put that out there and tried to sell it to Americans. And as the hey, look, a doctor got the vaccine. Nothing happened to him. See, look.
And how many? You know what? I'm just curious. I'm looking something up.
And this thing got 6.8 million views.
So
million views.
there's I'm trying to look up how many healthcare workers we have in America. Looks like around 16 million. So at least 16 million people know that was complete and utter bullshit.
Absolute bullshit. And I mean, first sight, that's bullshit. You don't even have to study that. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't even got to be in healthcare to know.
I'm serious. I mean, damn, my dog could have recognized it. Like, it's like a dog looking at a bone that looks like a bone, but immediately that's not a bone.
I got at first when all this stuff was coming out, I was like, you know what, I'll take the vaccine. I'll be a good citizen, even though I'm pretty sure I already got it in February. But then when I figured out how they made the virus and the difference between this and a normal vaccine, I was like, look, man, that's just too different for me, man. At the bottom line, it's just too different.
Right.
I don't like the way the things they had, like they have parts of the HIV virus in there, so it's causing like false positives for AIDS, like, and it works through RNA, and the RNA basically tells your cells to create this spike protein, and then the spike protein is supposed to cause a reaction in your immune system, and then the immune system then can produce or recognize the virus easier, something like. It's really confusing, man. Like, but normally a vaccine is a weakened or almost dead form of the virus, and you put it in the body, and then the body sees it and recognizes it, and then it creates, the proper cells to fight that, the enzymes to break that virus down, for when you actually come in contact with it. But this is not that, man. This is something different. It's weird, bro. I don't like
what Warrior said. She said, God is my vaccine. Nothing more powerful than him.
Honestly, bro, that's where I'm at with it now. I'm like, look, if the good Lord takes me, he takes me, man. I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. With this thing being 99.98% survival rate, I'll take my chances, man.
Hey, no question.
Sorry.
I'm definitely going to just if I'm going to go, I'm going to go. I'm not going with a needle in my arm. And I definitely don't want to go because I did take the needle in the arm, and now I'm somehow psychologically paralyzed, sterile, just AIDS.
And I haven't taken, and not by any kind of like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, I guess, but I just haven't taken a vaccine in ever, really. I think not since I've been an adult, not since I had all the regular vaccines I'm supposed to have as a kid and as whenever I was in school. But since then, I haven't taken any of the vaccines, man. I get it. Like, I just get the flu or I get the cold or whatever's going around, and that's it, man.
Yeah, and your body does what it's supposed to, fight off infections and fight off viruses. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how it's supposed to work. I'm not doing the vaccine. I'm not I don't know. I'm not what I am. I'm anti-vaxxer. I'm not going to take a vaccine.
I guess I am. Yeah, I am now. I am now.
I'm definitely not.
I guess by default I am.
Yeah, I could give 2 dams, 2 shits, or 2 F words, F bombs. When anybody says about it, oh, you're a threat to society. That I am. Oh, you're racist. Yes, I am.
Call me racist, I guess. If China said, yeah, the CCP says I'm racist, so I guess I'm racist.
I'll drink to that.
Says the party who's trying to reprogram Uyghur Muslims right now that they have in concentration camps. Oh yeah, but we're the racists. Yeah, thanks China.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, we got concentration camps. We're just locking people up because they have a particular faith. Yeah, we know what. Hey, listen, man, I cannot remember the name of that group of people that are also being held hostage in China. But apparently they have been using these people to facilitate a very lucrative organ harvesting.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot remember. Hey, Shell, what's going on, sister? I cannot, but they were like some of the strictest religious people that had great bodies. They didn't smoke, they didn't drink, they didn't do anything. And they have been harvesting these people's organs, selling them to the highest bidder for years.
Have you ever read, oh man, I can't remember. I think it's called The Scorpion King. It's a book I had to read in school, man. But it's basically.
Let me grab this. Let me take care of something real quick. Hold the fort down.
Go ahead. You want me to hold down the fort? So this book, basically, I can't remember. It's not The Scorpion King. That's that dang movie. But there's basically a book where they talk about the main character in the book is a kid who was basically grown in a petri dish, and he doesn't know it, but he's basically a clone of one of the most powerful and richest men in the world, and this guy basically pays to have clones of himself born and grown, and then when they reach a certain age, 18 or 21 or whatever it is, then they have a heart transplant, and they get his old heart and he gets their young new heart. So that was the first thing I'm thinking of going through my head. It just reminded me of that book. But
yeah, I've never read the book, man, but that's just unbelievable stuff, man. And listen, I'm convinced that people do some of the most heinous things and they don't care that it leaks out because, regular people just aren't going to believe that type of vicious behavior is taking place.
Yeah, I think that's something that's been happening. Look, man, this is my own little woo-woo theory. Getting a little woo-woo here down the rabbit hole, but I've thought that for a while. I'm like, man, what if they just tell us all the crazy stuff? They put it in our movies. They make movies about it, and they call it fiction. It's kind of like that. There's always truth in comedy. You know what I mean? It's just kind of an exaggerated, but most of the stuff that comedians talk about is stuff that happens. They just might twist it, tweak it here and there, but it's a real story, and that's the reason why it's so funny. Like that's the reason why we get so much of these, movies that are fictional and stuff like that. I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of this stuff that comes out, I'm like, I'll watch some movie and like something like that, and I'm like, man, how hard would it really be to do that?
Yeah,
we have everything to do that now. Like,
yeah.
And I don't know if you ever watched any of the Black Mirror show.
I didn't.
That's crazy. That stuff is basically based around, where we are technology wise and culture wise now. And it's not even really futuristic all the time. Maybe it's futuristic by only a decade or so, though, because some of the stuff that they have in there, we basically already have or are working on. But it's called the Black Mirror because it's like the darkest, the dark paths that we could take with the current technology that we have, which, some of them we're taking, intentionally or unintentionally, but like the organ harvesting, like the old, like the coronavirus and the RNA You know, man, it's crazy because I was studying. Don't they? Is it CRISPR that they use to do that vaccine? I
Yeah,
don't know. It
CRISPR.
is.
Yeah, you know, there's like I think there's 3 vaccines on the market now. Pfizer. We know Moderna is Bill Gates' brand of the vaccine. Which, if I were going to take one, I would not take that one for sure.
Because I don't know how well you were following CRISPR. I was kind of following it a little bit, but CRISPR is basically what that talks about. It like it uses a part of your cell to like rewrite DNA, and they've been studying that for like the past couple of years now. Well, they've been talking about it for the past couple of years. I'm sure they've been studying it for longer than that, but that junk is crazy. And they got that guy in China who basically he used it on his own children or something like that. And then he disappeared. Hold on, I'm gonna have to find that. That was the old one, man.
Yeah, Johnson and Johnson is also a manufacturer. I think Angry Miss Lady put that out there. That's correct. But what you're talking about is what Alex Jones has been talking about for the last 2 months, man. And I mean, just at first glimpse, you're like, okay, this is some shit that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Okay, he is cooking this up in the lab right now. Him and Owen Troyer are they're playing Black Castle or some, Dungeons and Dragons. They're conjuring spirits. They got Ouija boards. There's no way this is happening, right? There's no way this is that crazy, but it really is. That's why I said it's like when you hear it, you're like, okay, that's all right. There's no way that's going down. There's no way people have found out a way to make the human cell replicate a different type of cell other than the cell that it originally was. But it goes right into the mitochondria, not the mitochondria. It goes right into I forget the name of it. I'm not a scientist, but it goes right into what is that thing? What is that part of the cell? The nucleus of the cell rewrites the code and makes that cell die as the other new cell grows, and it begins to replicate an entire new type of cell.
Yeah,
Man, come on.
if you guys don't know what CRISPR is, you got to go look it up and read about it. CRISPR is like the newest thing in biology that they've been working on. But this is the guy. I think Xi Jinping or something like that. But he basically he used it on his own kids, and he used the CRISPR to genetically edit his own kids. He tried to make them more like immune to like HIV and stuff like that. He was trying to prevent HIV infections in newborns. Is what he said on the statement. And then he disappeared for like 6 months. For like a year, he just disappeared. And then now it says he got 3 years in prison. But this isn't even the same dude. I don't know if that's supposed to be the guy speaking, but yeah, because I was reading about this before politics. I was just reading about this because I always like to read about technology and like, medical breakthroughs and stuff like that. That's stuff that just interests me anyway. So before I ever even got into this stuff, I was following that.
Yeah, the whole dot chip technology, implantation device from MIT with, Microsoft and Bill Gates money. That plan to rewrite the DNA is for the purpose of patenting a new strand of DNA, and that's just trying to create an entirely different species. Brother, this is satanic. I mean, this is seriously satanic, man. I mean, who wants to? I mean, if it's not satanic, like what other entity that we can imagine that will want to rewrite God's creative design, God's beautiful design of humanity? Who else would want to do that?
Have you ever seen the movie Gattaca?
Man, I don't know what you talking about. That sounds like something that came out of nowhere.
It's it has to do with that to some degree. It's basically like when you're born, you're basically genetically tested, and they figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. Basically, from birth, they know where you're going to be at, where you're going to be a janitor, or you're going to be like in space travel or whatever. And but then you can also you can go, like when you go to have a baby, it's basically all like IVF. Like you have to. I might be mixing it up with another one, but another video, but I think you have to like qualify to even have a kid first. And then once you're approved to have a kid, then you can go in and like have it edited and all this stuff like that. And they can give you better traits, so they can pick, the eyes from the mother, but the hair from the father. And you can basically just put together, like Build-A-Bear your child, before it's ever even decided. Yeah. And that's an old movie. That's from like the 70s, man. I think it's like 1977.
See, that's one of those instances where you were talking about where things show up in the movies and then we see them years later, like, okay, that really did happen. But for Amanda and Sean, listen, I did a documentary on Bill Gates about that very thing, about the patent numbers for the vaccines, the patent numbers for the COVID virus itself. Him and Anthony Fauci are co-owners of that particular, of the COVID-19 virus. And people have been making investments into that vaccine project long before COVID-19 was released. I mean, that's the setup. I mean, it's kind of obvious at this point that this was planned.
COVID strains have existed since like the SARS epidemic, and I think even before that. They're not even sure how long exactly a COVID strain has been out, but mostly they're not very effective. They don't spread well. Besides SARS, and this supposedly jumps from a bat, to humans. The whole Wuhan lab is hella suspicious. I mean, they have the lady that called herself the Bat Lady that was researching all this. You have all these papers from all these universities, Chinese universities that were in the area, and a lot of doctors that worked at Wuhan labs all get redacted within a matter of days from basically the announcement of the COVID outbreak in the US.
Right. Yeah.
It's just suspicious, man.
Well, it's really suspicious, but that lab was here in America. University of Chapel Hill. It was here. Then moved to Wuhan, China. Our buddy Barack Obama, Fauci, $2 million moved to the lab. Check it out.
Damn.
They moved it. It was here. They were doing this criminal gain of function research right here in America. Right here in America. And it's just, it's ridiculous. But gain of function research, it's one because you talk about spike proteins where, bat coronavirus was not contagious and not transmittable from human to human. But all of a sudden, a spike protein shows up. That spike protein happened to be a splice off the HIV virus. So all of these supposed, fake positives are coming from that cloned and then, genetically engineered virus that we now have called COVID-19. It's sickening, man. It's sickening. It is. Nacho, I'm going to sign off, brother. Let me tell you something, man. Thank you for coming to hang out with me, brother. I was so in need of your company.
Yeah, man.
And
I was going to do all this by myself anyway, so I'm glad you invited me. I saw you go live earlier, and I was like, dang, man, everybody's going live before me. I'm not going to be able to hang out with anybody, but then I saw you go live again, so.
Always welcome.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing, you can get in the mix.
Yeah.
For all the brothers and sisters and patrons in the chat room, man, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Hey, like, share, subscribe, man. Y'all already know what time it is. I'll be back with some real good information, but this was just a hangout. Let y'all know. Thank you for not giving up on a brother. And Angry Alpha, hey, brother, I appreciate you stopping by. You just got here. It's 11:25. I've been up here for a couple of hours now. But I will be back soon. I figured it out. Yes. Sign it. Make sure y'all
finally working.
If y'all haven't liked and subscribed, do so. American Nacho, DC, January 6th.
That's it. We'll be there.
Everybody, love y'all. I'll talk with you later. Not your brother.